If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.
Welcome to Learn Locust series. In this season 2, episode 8, we are going to see about distributed load testing in Locust. Whenever you run your test from a single instance, you cannot inject more load because of your limitations in CPU, memory, network, and other parameters. It is always best practice to distribute the load across multiple machines, and those multiple machines will be responsible to inject the load to your application under test. So here we'll have one master machine which will oversee the communication between the master and worker machines will have the responsibility to inject the load to the application under test. In JMeter or in LoadRunner, you can easily set up the distributed load, but when compared to other tools, Locust setup is very simple. So basically you will have the master setup. You will have one file in the conf file as we see in the last video, and inside the conf file you will have all your master configuration. By setting up the flag master equals true, that instance will act as a master machine, and here we will have the expect workers flag equals the number of workers we are expecting for the test, and we will have the runtime settings like the host, number of users to be spawned, spawn rate, which file you want to execute, what is the runtime settings, whether it is running in a headless mode or not, and so on. You can just configure everything in your master.conf. On the other hand, you will have worker.conf. So inside the worker.conf, you will set the flag worker equals true and the file to execute and the master host. So this master host is the IP of your master machine. Once you run this setup, that particular instance will act as a worker, and this machine will be responsible to inject the load as you mentioned in the master.conf. So how do you run this setup? First you have to trigger the master.conf. So whenever you trigger the master.conf, it will display this message waiting for workers to be ready. So right now we don't have any workers to be connected. To start the worker node, you have to run the worker.conf. So here once you start the worker, master will identify the worker node and then it will give the responsibility to inject the load from the worker machines. So there are few things you have to take care. Locust scripts must be present in master as well as the worker machines. Otherwise your script will not be injected. And also the number of users must be greater than the number of user classes multiplied by the number of workers. So if you are running with say 3 users, the 3 should be greater than the number of workers and multiplied by the number of user classes in your script. So these are the 2 points you have to take care. And also we have the other parameters like which port you can use. By default it uses 5557, but you can change the port, you can bind it, and I will post the documentation link in the YouTube description. You can check it out for the other additional parameters. Now we will see a quick demo how you can run in the distributed mode. So here I have the master.conf. In the master.conf I am flipping the flag master equals true and expected worker is just 1, and number of users I am going to test with 3, and spawn rate is 2, and runtime is about 60 seconds. Let us change it to say 30 seconds, and I'm going to run with the headless mode. And similarly I have the worker.conf, worker equals true, and the locust file which we are going to execute. And this is my petstore.py, just a simple petstore file, and I have only one class load test. So now first we are going to run the master.conf by specifying the config flag, and I'm going to hit enter. So this will start the instance in the master mode, and it will just display waiting for the workers to be ready. Meanwhile, I'm going to start another session, and I'm going to rename the session as say worker 1, and I'm going to start the locust. First I'm going to activate the virtual environment, and then we are going to start the locust in the worker mode by specifying the config flag. So now if I hit enter, this particular session will be started as the worker mode, and here you can see spawning 3 users, and meanwhile if you see the master, here the client reported as ready. Currently 1 client's ready to swarm. Basically our test has been started already because 1 worker has been joined successfully. So once the worker is joined, Locust will start the run immediately. Now let us wait for 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds we can see the output in the master session. So right now our execution has been done, and here if you see the report, you can see all the transaction has been successfully injected. So this is how you implement the master worker setup. So this particular master.conf is running in the headless mode. Now let me comment it out and let us run in the UI mode. To run the UI mode, again we have to start the master instance, and similarly we are going to start the worker instance. And now let me launch the UI, web UI. So here I have to change it to localhost. So now as you see, it is automatically filling the details. And if I click on start swarming, in the tab you can see there is another new tab called workers. And if I click on workers, you can see the worker machine details and the current state, number of users, and the CPU usage. And in the statistics, you can see the runtime statistics. And after 30 seconds, this test will be done, and then we can analyze the results. Now let me stop the execution because we have not specified any runtime settings, because that will work only for the headless mode. So here we have to stop the test ourselves. So let me click on stop. And this is how you execute your distributed load test in the GUI mode. Now let us change the expect workers flag equals to. So now if I start this master.conf, it will wait for the 2 workers to be joined. It will wait for the 2 workers to be joined. Unless there are 2 workers joined, it will not start the execution. Now let me open the UI and let me click on start test. This will not start the test because there are no workers. Now let me start the worker 1. And if you go back to the web UI, here you can see the worker 1 has joined, but it will not start the test. Again, we have to start the worker 2 by clicking on this terminal, and let me rename the session to worker 2, and let us activate and let us start the test. So now if I go back to the web UI, inside the workers, you can see there are 2 workers. Now the test is not started successfully because we have to stop the test and start our test again. Now the test will start successfully because we have the 2 workers successfully up and running. So if you are using the expect workers flag, make sure the expected workers has been started. Then you can start the load testing. So this is how this flag works. So unless number of workers is joined successfully, it will not be able to start the test. So that is the purpose of expect workers flag. I hope this session is pretty useful, and please try this and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.